All right, get ready because today we're diving deep into a world where thoughts become things. Kind of wild, right?
Yeah, definitely thought-provoking.
We're going to be exploring the work of Neville Goddard.
Oh, fascinating.
He was a thinker who claimed that imagination
Hmm.
literally shapes reality.
Okay.
So we've got some excerpts from one of his lectures.
Uh-huh.
It's from way back in 1955.
Wow.
And then we also have this text about, how our inner conversations can really make or break our experiences.
Absolutely.
So we're going to unpack all these ideas today using Goddard's own examples, and then we'll
Oof.
see how they might apply to your life.
Sounds good.
It's fascinating because Goddard doesn't just say,
Yeah.
think positive and good things will happen.
Right.
He lays out a very specific technique for actually using imagination as a creative force.
Interesting.
He even calls it God in man,
Oh, wow.
like suggesting that it's a power that we all possess,
Right.
but we often, overlook it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like we have this superpower,
Hmm.
but we don't know how to use it.
We don't know how to tap into it, yeah.
So how do we tap into this God in man potential?
Well, Goddard believed that everything around us is actually malleable, almost like clay, in the hands of a sculptor.
Okay.
But the sculptor's tool isn't a chisel or anything like that.
Right.
It's our imagination.
Oh, interesting.
And he tells this really captivating story
Okay.
about a 17-year-old girl on Christmas Eve
Mhm.
in San Diego,
Okay.
and she desperately wants to go to Samoa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so picture this.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
She's on a crowded streetcar.
Okay.
It's raining outside,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody else is in this, festive mood.
Yeah.
But she's watching the rain,
Right.
and instead of, like, feeling sorry for herself,
Mm-hmm.
she starts to imagine.
Okay.
She tells herself, this isn't rain.
Wow.
This is ocean spray.
Okay.
This isn't like the salt of my tears. This is the sea air. She even pretends the streetcar is a ship
Oh my God.
that's sailing into the harbor.
That's some serious commitment to the imagination game.
It is, right. And Goddard emphasizes that she felt it so intensely that it was as if she was already there.
Wow.
Yeah. And 10 days later, guess what?
What?
She inherits money from an aunt,
No way.
enough to actually make the trip.
Oh, wow.
And a month after that,
Uh-huh.
she's sailing into that same harbor, experiencing the same spray, that same salty air
Mm-hmm.
that she had imagined weeks before.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But how does this apply, beyond just travel?
Right.
Can I use this to, say, get a promotion or find a new apartment?
Goddard believed you absolutely could.
Okay.
He lays out this whole process.
Oh.
And the first step
Mm-hmm.
is being crystal clear about your desire.
Right.
So it's not, I kind of want this.
Mm-hmm.
It's knowing exactly what you want to manifest.
So let's say, I'm stuck in a tiny apartment and I'm dreaming of a house.
Okay.
I can't just vaguely think, I want more space.
No, you need a specific vision.
Okay.
What kind of house?
Okay.
How many rooms?
Okay.
What does the yard look like?
Mm-hmm.
Goddard would say,
Yeah.
to actually walk through this imaginary house in your mind,
Okay.
touch the furniture,
Wow.
smell the fresh paint, feel the sunshine streaming in,
Hmm.
make it real, with all your senses.
That's way more than just
Right.
creating a Pinterest board in my head.
It is.
So I build this vivid mental image.
Yeah.
What then?
Well, Goddard was really big
Okay.
on the drowsy, sleepy state just before sleep.
Mm.
He said to enter your imagined scene,
Mm.
feel all the feelings of it being real,
Mm-hmm.
and actually fall asleep in that state.
Okay.
He uses this phrase,
Yeah.
taking your desire into your mother's chamber.
That sounds a bit cryptic.
Yeah.
What does mother's chamber even mean?
It's a powerful metaphor.
Yeah.
It's talking about the subconscious mind,
Hmm.
that place where our deepest beliefs and desires reside.
Okay.
It's like planting a seed
Mhm.
in really fertile ground,
Right.
allowing it to, take root and grow
Yeah.
while we sleep.
So it's not just about visualizing before bed,
Right.
but falling asleep feeling like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
desire is already achieved.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's powerful stuff.
I can see how that might be powerful,
Mm-hmm.
but it also sounds like it takes a lot of focus.
It does.
Yeah.
It's not passive wishing.
Right.
It's active creation through persistent,
Okay.
focused imagination.
Hmm.
But Goddard argued that, it's the key to unlocking the creative power within us.
Wow.
And he didn't just talk about like material things. He had this whole concept called revision.
Like revision.
Yeah.
Is this like editing a document?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
It's about using imagination to rewrite past events, to align with your ideal. Goddard believed that we can change the past in our minds.
Okay.
And that can actually influence our present and future.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Are we talking time travel here?
Well,
This is getting a bit sci-fi for me.
it might sound that way.
Yeah.
But Goddard's point
Yeah.
is that our memories aren't set in stone.
Okay.
They're actually malleable, subject to our interpretation.
Okay.
He gives this example of a grandmother who's estranged from her daughter-in-law and grandson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was heartbroken over this.
Right.
So she decided to use revision.
Okay, so how did she revise a broken family relationship?
She imagined letters from her grandson and daughter-in-law,
Okay.
full of love and regret for the estrangement. She would hold these imaginary letters,
Right.
reread them,
Uh-huh.
feel the joy of reconciliation
Wow.
as though it had already happened.
So she was basically creating a new positive memory of this situation.
Exactly.
But did anything actually change in the real world?
That's the fascinating part.
Okay.
On the 8th day, she gets a real letter
What?
from her daughter-in-law
No.
containing letters from both of them, echoing the sentiments of her imagined letters.
Wow. That's a bit eerie.
Yeah.
So she mentally rewrote the past, and it seemed to ripple out and affect the present.
That's what Goddard observed.
Okay.
And he believed this technique could apply to any area of life. Imagine having a difficult conversation with someone.
Right.
And then mentally revising it
Okay.
to go smoothly and positively. Could that shift future interactions?
You're saying by changing the story in our minds, we might change the story in our lives.
Yeah.
That's a big claim.
It is. But it ties directly into this other text we have on inner conversations.
Right.
The constant chatter in our heads. The author argues that our internal dialogue shapes our reality just as much as our external actions.
So if I'm constantly like putting myself down or expecting bad things to happen,
Right.
I'm more likely to attract those experiences.
That's what this text suggests.
Okay.
It's like our inner conversations are constantly sending out signals, and the universe responds accordingly.
Like attracts like, they say.
Exactly.
But is it really that simple? Can just changing my thoughts really change my life?
It might sound overly simplistic,
Yeah.
but think about it this way.
Okay.
Our thoughts create our feelings. Our feelings drive our actions, and our actions shape our reality.
Okay.
So it makes sense that changing the starting point, our thoughts, could have a ripple effect.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I still have some doubts, though. Let's say, like, I'm struggling financially, and I try to change my inner dialogue to be more positive about money. Is that really going to magically fill my bank account?
Goddard wouldn't say it's magic,
Okay.
but rather a shift in energy. He'd likely say,
Yeah.
don't just think of abundance.
Okay.
Think from it.
So instead of obsessing over my lack of money,
Yeah,
I should focus on the feelings I would have
exactly.
if I was already financially secure.
Yeah, imagine like the feeling of financial security,
Right.
of paying your bills with ease,
Right.
of having the resources to pursue your dreams.
Okay, I'm willing to try it,
Yeah.
but I also wonder if we don't need to worry about the how, as Goddard suggests, doesn't that risk making us passive?
Okay.
Just waiting for things to fall into our lap?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
It's not about being passive.
Okay.
It's about shifting from a state of worry and desperation
Right.
to one of trust and expectancy.
Hmm.
When we let go of trying to control every detail,
Yeah.
we open ourselves up to possibilities
Right.
we might have never imagined.
So it's not about sitting back and doing nothing,
Right.
but rather taking inspired action
Yes.
when opportunities present themselves.
Precisely.
Okay.
It's about being open to guidance, synchronicities, and unexpected avenues that can lead us toward our goals. Remember the grandmother's story?
Yeah.
She didn't force a reconciliation.
Right.
She changed her inner world,
Uh-huh.
and the outer world seemed to reflect that shift.
That's a good reminder. that sometimes letting go can be more powerful than trying to force things to happen.
Absolutely.
But what about the other side of the coin?
Okay.
What if I'm using Goddard's techniques and still facing setbacks or challenges?
Goddard would say that challenges are part of the growth process.
Okay.
He believed that even negative experiences could be opportunities for learning and expansion.
So instead of seeing them as failures, I should see them as feedback.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about reframing those experiences and asking ourselves, what can I learn from this? How can I use this challenge to grow stronger and wiser?
It's like that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Okay. Thanks.
But it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned.
Of course.
How do we stay motivated and maintain that positive inner dialogue, especially when life throws curveballs?
That's where the importance of persistence comes in.
Okay.
Both Goddard and the text on inner conversations emphasize that this is not a quick fix.
Right.
It's a lifestyle, a conscious choice we make every single day.
So it's not about reaching a point of perfection,
but
rather about consistently tending to our inner garden, so to speak.
Exactly. It's about cultivating a mental and emotional environment where our desired experiences can flourish.
Right.
That means weeding out negative thoughts, nurturing positive beliefs, and staying focused on our vision.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it sounds like a lot of work.
It can be.
Yeah.
But it's so worth it.
Is it really possible to completely control our thoughts and inner dialogue all the time?
It's not about perfect control, but rather about conscious awareness. The more we become aware of our thought patterns and inner conversations, the more power we have to choose more empowering ones.
So it's a practice, a continuous process of becoming more mindful of our inner world and choosing thoughts and beliefs that align with our goals.
Absolutely.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's like anything else in life. The more we practice, the better we become.
The more natural it becomes.
But what about those times when we're just feeling down, discouraged, or overwhelmed? Is it realistic to expect ourselves to be positive all the time?
It's important to acknowledge and allow all of our emotions, even the challenging ones.
So it's okay to feel down sometimes.
Yeah.
As long as we don't let those feelings define us or dictate our actions.
Exactly. It's about recognizing those feelings, accepting them, and then choosing to shift our focus back to our vision, our goals, and the positive possibilities that await us.
It's like those times when we're driving and we hit a patch of fog. We don't stop the car and give up. We slow down, turn on our fog lights, and keep moving forward cautiously until we reach clearer skies.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
It's about having faith that even when we can't see the full path ahead, we are still on the right track, moving towards our destination.
And that brings us back to that idea of trust and surrender that we talked about earlier. It's about letting go of the need to control everything and trusting that there's a higher intelligence guiding us.
Absolutely.
This idea of trusting the universe can be a bit tricky for some people.
I understand that.
Especially if they've experienced a lot of hardship or disappointment in their lives.
Yeah.
How can we cultivate that trust, especially when it feels like life keeps throwing us curveballs?
It's not about blind faith. Or ignoring the realities of life's challenges. It's about recognizing that even in the midst of darkness, there's always light. Even when things seem to be falling apart. There's a force at work that's ultimately for our highest good.
It's about having faith that even when we don't understand the why behind certain events, there's a purpose to them, a lesson to be learned, or a redirection that's ultimately leading us to something better.
Exactly.
It's about shifting from a victim mentality to an empowered one. Recognizing that we have the power to choose our thoughts, our beliefs, and ultimately our reality.
Absolutely.
It's about recognizing that we're not just passengers on this journey called life, but we're the drivers. We have the power to choose our destination and navigate the road ahead.
And while there may be bumps and detours along the way, we have the inner resources and the guidance we need to arrive at our desired destination.
This has been a fascinating exploration of Goddard's ideas.
It has.
But I'm still curious about one thing. He talks about imagination as a powerful force. But where does personal responsibility fit into all of this?
That's a great question.
If we can manifest anything we desire, just by imagining it.
Right.
Does that mean we're not accountable for our actions?
That's a great question, and one that Goddard addressed.
Okay.
He believed that while imagination is a powerful tool, it's not a license to act irresponsibly.
Right.
Or to disregard the consequences of our choices.
So it's not about using imagination to escape reality.
Right.
Or to avoid taking responsibility for our lives.
Not at all. In fact, he emphasized that true responsibility comes from recognizing the power we have to shape our reality. It's about using our imagination consciously and ethically.
Right.
Aligning our desires with our highest values and acting in ways that benefit ourselves and others.
So it's not just about manifesting our personal desires, but about aligning those desires with a greater purpose.
It is.
That's a beautiful sentiment.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected and that our thoughts and actions have a ripple effect on the world around us.
Absolutely.
This deep dive into Neville Goddard's work has been a real eye-opener.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff.
It's challenged me to think differently about the power of my own imagination and the role I play in shaping reality, both individually and collectively.
It's powerful stuff.
It's given me a sense of empowerment, knowing that I have the ability to choose my thoughts, beliefs, and actions, and that those choices have the power to create real and lasting change.
I'm glad to hear that.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left with a sense of wonder and possibility. It feels like we've just scratched the surface of this vast and mysterious realm of imagination.
It's a lifelong journey.
So, dear listener, as you go about your day, I invite you to pay attention to your thoughts, your beliefs, and the stories you tell yourself.
Absolutely.
What world are you creating with your imagination? What seeds are you planting?
It's a powerful question.
Remember, the power to shape your reality lies within you.
It does.
Use it wisely. Use it creatively.
Yes.
And use it to create a world that is truly worthy of your dreams.
Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey into the power of imagination.
It's been a pleasure.
May you always remember the incredible creative force that resides within you.